President. How's it going, Sarah?
Hi, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
We're halfway through.
Halfway
Yay.
through, exactly.
Yes. You know, I'm going to say something that I never thought I would say.
Okay.
I miss the rain.
Wow,
It's actually
that's
kind
impressive.
of warming up a little bit
I love
today.
the rain. Yeah.
I do too. Yeah. I know. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, listening to K4CO Radio, and joining us on our hump day on Wednesday.
Exactly. And if you are, to those who are listening in, do you know that starting midnight tonight, we have 48 hours of only Colorado musicians for our rotation. The rest of the time, K4CO has a third of our rotation dedicated to Colorado musicians, but it is our 2-year anniversary here at K4CO, so we're going to have 48 hours of only your wonderful Colorado musicians. And speaking of Colorado musicians, this next guest was brought to us by a wonderful Colorado musician who's in our rotation, Megan Clarice. And thank you, Megan, if you're listening out there. I've been looking forward to this interview for quite a while because I absolutely love what they do. Love what they do. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful interview with Abby Tannler. How's it going, Abby?
It's going well. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely. We absolutely love it. You are the program coordinator for Musicians on Call, a wonderful nonprofit organization that, and I'm going to read this exactly, bringing live and recorded music to the bedsides of patients, families, and caregivers in the healthcare environments.
Yes, sir.
That's
what we do.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
When did you start with this and how did you get started?
Yeah, so I started with Musicians on Call in July of 2024. I made a great connection with our organization in Nashville, where we're based, and actually have a background more in the sports and entertainment industry, and got connected with MOC, and it truly has been one of the greatest blessings that I have gotten, and I have, made so many great relationships, and it's really given me the platform to use my gifts and strengths to, do so much good with live music in hospital environments. So, yeah, I love it.
Music is I think one of the most important things, and we'll talk about a little bit about that, but especially to people who don't want to be in the hospital.
Absolutely.
So that's just absolutely amazing. When did you start with Musicians on Call?
In July of last year, so a little over a year. So it just celebrated 1 year at the end of July. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love this too. I know as I'm like gushing over your website, I'm like, oh my gosh, they do that, and look at all these stories, and because it kind of brings together what we stand for as an organization, and what I'm passionate about is it's bringing not only musicians together, which we love. So all of our Colorado musicians, I hope that you guys are listening or watching. Again, I wanted to mention, if you are listening on the app, thank you so much for tuning in. You can also see our beautiful faces on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So if you do have questions, especially if you're a musician looking to volunteer, this brings together everything, right? So it's people who are in need of lifting their spirits, which is community, people who are suffering with whatever ailment, we'll go into that. Of course, no one wants to be in a hospital. I've spent many, many, many days in a hospital. And musicians, which elevates mental and emotional and physical health, and just bringing joy to people all over. And I love it. So this program is involved in all 50 states, which is super amazing.
So we are active at the bedsides of patients in around 25 cities. And then we also, starting during the pandemic, we really expanded our MOC virtual model, which we've been able to reach people in all 50 states. So we have, hospital partners all the way in Hawaii that join our virtual programs on occasion. And those are weekly, and they're all different types. So we have pediatrics, we have a Spanish program, adults, veterans, and behavioral health as well. So, but yeah, we reach people in all 50 states, which is really cool. Ideally, we'd love to be at the bedsides of hospitals in all 50 states. That's the, long-term goal, that we can provide music to as many people as possible.
Nice. Well, that's amazing. I know you've been on board for about a year, but it started back in 1999, back in New York, actually. Do you know the story of actually the formation of? I don't want to put you on the spot too
Yeah,
much.
no. So we were founded in 1999 through one of our founders. Had his girlfriend passed away of cancer, and that's kind of how we were founded. He, came out with this idea of, why don't we do this, in a lot more hospitals than just here. So that's kind of like the basics of it, but it, rapidly expanded from there. And yeah, we took on the world from New York City, and we're all based in Nashville now. So
It's cool. So it sounds like there's a big hub in New York and Philadelphia is those early year formations.
Correct.
Based in Nashville. But you've been here in Denver how long since 2015?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. And you guys were at Children's Anschutz earlier today or yesterday?
Yeah, so we're at Children's Anschutz weekly. I went last night while I'm in town to just hang out with volunteers, see what it's like, because I had not been to see them yet. And yeah, they're just amazing. We've been there since 2015, and it is a beautiful hospital, and we are very grateful that we have great partners there that help us include so many different volunteers, so many different types of music, and we get to reach so many kids and their families. I see, weekly that we're playing for, almost 30 patients and, 30 to 40 family members, staff members, just on one evening, which over like an hour and a half, which is crazy that we're able to reach that many people. I mean, we've played for around 1,500 this year at Children's Colorado since January.
Wow.
So that's weekly programs. But we've played for around 175,000 since 2015 here in Denver at Children's Anschutz, as well as the Rocky Mountain Regional VA.
Okay, that was my next question, so people can kind of know, because we do have a big musician following, of course. So it's predominantly, it's not really age discriminate. So it can be anywhere from birth till 102.
Yeah, so we play for people at all different stages of life, all the way from mother babies hearing their first song after they're born to, people in long-term care facilities that may, be their last experience with music. So we're all over, all different types of people, because everyone needs it. So
I agree.
I'd be that one putting headphones on baby mom's stomach, playing some Floyd and,
of course.
No Bach for you.
No
only,
Bach.
Only Pink Floyd.
I mean, not very classical has benefits, but no, let's do some Floyd. Let's do some, even some Zeppelin, some Metallica.
I did Metallica and Nine Inch Nails. And Josh Groban. Have to throw him in there.
Of course.
Yeah, you kind of put those back to back, right?
That's why my kid is so stable. He's a little crazy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you travel kind of all over the place. So I'm so happy that you were in Denver, and we set this interview up a little while ago on it. For, say, a musician that wants to get involved, what does that look like for a musician? How do they start? And then how is it them getting involved in playing? Yeah,
so we start everyone off with our volunteer application. So if you can find it at musiciansoncall.org/volunteer. And for non-musicians and musicians, we have everyone fill out pretty much the same application. It is very basic, just asking about you and some of your volunteer experience. And we have everyone record a short little video. We have guides kind of introduce themselves, and we have a few questions that they'll answer, just like situational questions about working in a hospital environment, if they have any experience with that, and just to get to know them face to face, because a lot of times we don't get to meet them in person before they start volunteering. Mm-hmm. So that gives us a good way to get to know them through a video. And then we ask musicians to kind of do a similar thing, and then also give us a sampling of what they would do in the hospital. And we have all different types of musicians that volunteer, professional, and just that people that do it on the side just for fun. We are happy to work with pretty much any and all instruments. We have a lot of variety. I've seen lots of different variety. But we have everyone go through the application, and then after that, we have our own training we've kind of built out on our platform, which we'd get everyone involved in that, where we have videos and different trainings that they kind of walk through that basically give them the whole picture of what we do in the hospital, and pretty much answers any and all questions they would have that about being in a hospital setting, how they, speak on behalf of MOC, abiding by like safety precautions and HIPAA with privacy with patients, and just because it is, a vulnerable environment, and we want them to, be as prepared as possible, because you might, see things that you're not used to if you've never worked in a hospital environment. So everything's very beautiful and built out, and I feel like it really encompasses everything for them. And yeah, and then we would connect them with the hospital. It varies hospital to hospital where they go from there, but that's kind of the basics of how we take them through our training. And then they would, if the hospital has additional training they would like them to do, that's kind of up to the facility. Okay. So, but they're all, certified MOC volunteers by the end of our training. And yeah,
and then they just bring their instrument.
Yeah, and then we kind of,
play their songs.
Yeah, it very much depends on the facility, how often we're there. So we're at Children's Colorado weekly, and we're at the Rocky Mountain VA monthly right now. But we would ideally like to be everywhere weekly. So that's the goal. So yeah, we would get them in our scheduling, and we have everything on our own login system where they can sign up on their own. They can also leave feedback. After every shift, we, love for them to share any memorable moments, any cool stories with, being cautious of privacy and HIPAA. Mm-hmm. But we, love to hear all the sweet stories, because we don't get to see them all every day. Mm-hmm. But
they're very touching. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that, especially I shared with you, I work for the Morgan Adams Foundation's Pediatric Cancer Research. And some of these kiddos see the inside of the hospital for their entire life. Mm-hmm. And to have those moments when someone comes in makes the entire difference. And that split 3 minutes, it can alter their entire perspective. So I love what you guys are doing. You had mentioned that you have professional, amateur, anyone who wants to come perform. And of course, this is where my brain goes. Can you have a full drum set and a keyboard?
You're thinking about metal, aren't you?
I mean, she said this.
We like to make it, we would like to, have most, if not all, people volunteer with us if they're willing and able. There are different, feasibility things that come with, working in a hospital environment, just with travel and transportation and going room to room so quickly. Mm-hmm. So we prefer that our preference is the musicians accompany themselves. That's a big one. If they don't play an instrument, we prefer them to have an accompanist, or someone to play for them, just because we don't do tracks or anything like that, room to room. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's ideally preferred that they, hold it, are able to carry it on their own. Right. So people get creative. So yeah, the possibilities are endless.
You probably get a lot of unplugged, a lot of acoustic stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Guitars are most popular. It's just the easiest. Mm-hmm. So we've got someone that rolls around a keyboard. I was at Children's last night. A girl plays the flute here in Denver. We've got a banjo player in Nashville. So nice. Violin, lots of different instruments. So a guitar, the keyboard on the thing. It's pretty cool. But
and the website, one of the main options, actually the first option on the website, the healing power of music, and kind of goes into that. Tell us some of the benefits that you've seen and that you've studied, because there's even research on here too, mm-hmm. About the benefits of a program like this, and particularly music.
Yeah, there's been so much research, not only, on our end, just in the healthcare world in general, about how music heals. And that's, our big thing. Not only does it, emotionally, mentally, physically, can help people, have better spirits, but it can lower blood pressure. It can just boost, lots of different, emotions and, physical ailments, and just like going into a room and someone like that maybe hasn't even like gotten up in a few days. It's really cool to see how just a simple tune can make someone like perk up and make someone, that may have not gotten up in a few days, like want to get up and dance, or hasn't smiled or hasn't, opened their eyes, and you can tell they're listening. And we get a lot of, foot tapping. That's the big one. That's like, like even if they're not, they're not super aware that we're in the room, you can like tell that, the music is getting to their brain. And the kiddos, smiles are great, giggles are even better, and it completely like changes the mood of the room. And yeah, it's really cool and really powerful.
Yeah.
I love that too, because there's so many studies out there when it comes to music. I wanted to mention this. I saw this documentary a little while ago, and I looked it up. It's called Alive Inside, a story of music and memory. And it's amazing about this group that gave generally elderly people iPods with music from, when they were growing up and everything like that. And these patients did not know their family. They did not know their friends. They didn't know what was going on. Their memory was just very, very wiped. But they knew song lyrics and they knew songs. They remembered songs and they danced to the songs. And it's just extremely powerful. Music is just such a huge part of the brain. So
yeah, it's really cool. I mean, think about like how many song lyrics like you have memorized. Like it's crazy. Like every time I'm listening to songs that I haven't listened to in a long time, it's like, I can't believe I remember these lyrics. Like I haven't listened to this song in 5 years, and the amount of like capacity that the brain has to remember catchy tunes is pretty cool. So
Completely. It does something too. I mean, everything that you said is so poignant and right on, that it really, I mean, you can remember usually the time, to your point, like, oh, I was in high school at that point when I first heard that song, because it goes in the synapses of the brain where you can really recall. I think that's why a lot of people with Alzheimer's and dementia that truly can't remember family will hear a tune. I mean, sorry to quote the Notebook here, but that just is another, yes, very fairy tale, but to the point of, it just sticks in the brain, and that you can recall a moment back, that it just lives inside of your body. So this is truly, it's such a gift what you're giving to all of these people.
thank you.
It is. No, thank you. Again, I wanted to mention this for those that are listening and maybe not watching. You can check out their website. It's musiciansoncall.org. And I'm also going to give you Abby's email. So if you need to reach out to her with any other specific questions, it's Abby, that's ABBY, at musiciansoncall.org. You can also call the main number at 212-741-2709. But again, definitely just go to the website, especially if you want to volunteer. For all of you musicians that I hope are listening, I mean, Scotty Allen, you are bouncing around in my brain a whole bunch. Singer, songwriter, even if there's multiple people out there that want to go in and love volunteering, there's so many that would just
and we only require once a month. That's our requirement, and typically we require an hour and a half to 2 hour shift. That's kind of typically what we say, and only once a month. So, and we're always looking for musicians and music lovers. If you're not a musician but would love to guide, is our kind of escort role that we couldn't do it without. They are, the eyes and ears between the musician and the patient, because we always have the guide go into the rooms first and introduce themselves as, I'm with Musicians on Call. I have a musician in the hallway. If you'd like to hear a song, they'd love to play one. And we like to give everyone that choice, just because they don't get a lot of choices in the hospital. So we like to make sure that we're not forcing anyone to hear music that doesn't want to. Obviously, we are happy to play for anyone that would like to. So the guide is almost just as important as the musician, and we're in need of guides as well as musicians. So if you're a music lover or a musician or want to help in general, we'd be happy to have you.
Right.
I definitely think you'll get some. I mean, even my producer notified me a wonderful local singer, Bailey Alora, already messaged in.
Awesome.
So, if you're a musician out there, definitely check this out. I mean, how awesome is that to play for people who are just stuck in the hospital and just feeling horrible.
Oh, Bailey Laura would be absolutely perfect.
She's got a great voice. She's got a wonderful voice.
Yay!
Yeah.
So cool.
Now, so people, not musicians too, you can do it as well. How would like a family member, say somebody's here, how can a family member say, wow, that'd be really cool, try to connect someone they know in the hospital to you guys? Or how can a hospital reach out to you the best way? I mean, I'm sure it's not just the website.
Yeah, so we have a hospital. I mean, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and I can get you to the different point person. If you're not in Denver, we work really closely, our team. We're all over, and everyone manages different cities. So I'm happy to connect in a hospital, a family member of a patient. We are always doing like one-off special things for patients, whether it's a bedside visit or we also do a one-off virtual program where we'll connect a patient with one of our musicians just to play like one of their favorite songs or something like that. Mm-hmm. If they're in a, city, that a hospital we're not in, or we can also, make an effort to go to that patient's room on our next like weekly visit if they are in a hospital that we're in. But we do have a hospital application if you work for a hospital or a healthcare facility that is interested in Musicians on Call. That's on our website as well. And that's kind of a similar, that basically would provide us all of the different information that we would need about your facility. And then we kind of figure out what would be the best fit from there.
That was actually my next question.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if on the top of your head you've mentioned Children's Anschutz and the VA. Are there other that you know of that you already are connected with here in Colorado?
We have a few that are in the works, nothing
solidified.
We would love to, we will ideally be in more in the next couple years.
Well, I'm very in that world and just in the healthcare hospital world. Is there requirements of, and I apologize, I know the application's on there, so I'm...
No, that's okay. No, I will
that's
go
okay. That. Is there, I know.
How dare you ask someone we're interviewing?
I know. Gosh, I need to do my research here. Are there requirements for the facility? Is that a long process from kind of start to finish to get someone there?
It varies a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of different factors that go into it. There's lots of different factors. We don't like to say no to most places. We normally say, healthcare environments. We're in a variety of different hospitals across the country. Okay. Also like long-term care facilities. So it's very like there's not set in stone criteria for where we go. Okay. It's a combination of if they've got people if we have volunteers that are interested, if we have partners at that hospital that are willing to work with us, and I have someone that's a day-to-day contact for me to be able to work with. Okay. Lots of different
I just wanted
factors.
to plant the seed. We know people in senior living facilities.
Yeah.
We know people in rehabs. I mean, once they're rehabbing on the list is very long in my brain right now. So this is amazing. So again, if you're listening and if you have someone in a facility that you think this would be a really good, amazing experience, the answer is yes. Go to musiciansoncall.org and see if, they could come out and sing. I love music.
I bet you have a lot of stories that remind you why you do this. Yeah. I was wondering if you could share one of those.
I should have thought of one before I can talk. Last night at Children's Colorado, we had a really cool encounter with a patient where our musician Madeline was playing the flute, and we were like down the hall, and this one young girl's mom ran down the hall to us, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, will you please come play for my daughter? She just started to play for the flute." Aww. And we were like, "Yeah, of course, we'll be right there." And we went in there, and her face just completely lit up when her mom was like, "We've got a special guest, a flute player coming in here," and she was just mesmerized by the flute. And I don't know how much she had, how far she's gotten into it yet, but I know that was really cool to see her just light up when Madeline started playing. And it's just simple things like that. We have so many encounters. I think some of the most special ones in Nashville are at the Nashville VA. There's so many patients in there, and a lot of them are in rooms with like 2 beds, so they don't get a lot of like privacy and stuff. But some of those veterans are just like, all they want to do is like get up and dance, and it's so cool. And we have one banjo player in Nashville that I've been with before, and the way that the banjo or any music, any instrument just lights up people, patients and family members and staff, everyone's just like, it's so cool. But yeah, the banjo sound travels far, so we're like super loud in the hallways, so he's like picking around and everyone's like, oh my gosh, there's a banjo. But yeah, that's really cool. There's so many cool moments and so many sweet like connections that people make with songs. Like our musicians don't ask like really questions. We try to stay away from like diagnoses and all of those things like that, just to keep things light. But there's always these cool moments where someone will play a song that they just in their repertoire, and people will be like, how did you know like that's like was like my dad's favorite song? Or one family at a cancer hospital in Nashville, he played Brown Eyed Girl, and the wife was like, that's his ringtone because I'm his brown eyed girl, or something like that. It was so cute. So all of things like that are so cool, and they're like very like meant to be moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think, and it's like the patients that you wouldn't think, like you go in there and they're like, sure, but then they just like light up. Like they really needed it, and you can tell like the mood is just completely flipped from when you enter the room and when you leave. So it's really cool and it's really powerful.
For the people listening, musiciansoncall.org, not .com. Musiciansoncall.org. Check it out. 212-741-2709, but that is on the website. Since 1999, Musicians on Call volunteers have performed for more than 1 million individuals in healthcare facilities. That is amazing. I had a question. Oh, we were talking, you said there something about virtual as well. So this is not just face-to-face. Talk to us a little bit about virtual.
Yeah, so I also work on our virtual programs as well. So this was a model that we've had, but we pretty like expanded on a lot during the pandemic, and we've kind of carried on as, you know, we are not able to be everywhere. So we offer, you know, virtual to lots of facilities, and it's just an easier way for patients to join on their own devices, or we have a lot of our children's hospitals will join it via their CCTV systems, so their like internal TV channels will put it on and be able to like stream it throughout the hospital. So we have those programs weekly, and we try to offer that to anyone that, you know, it's possible. It's normally like a one-way thing, which is definitely the positive of our bedside program. Is the musicians don't get that reaction and that face-to-face interaction with the patients, but the patients still have access to music, and we have all of our programs recorded, so they can always, you know, go back and watch old programs. And yeah, it's still so cool, and it's still a great, you know, option for lots of folks who we maybe can't be there quite yet, but we'll be there soon.
Yeah, completely. Well, I know we've talked about how musicians and volunteers can get involved. Since you are a .org, you know, you all are a nonprofit, and there's always a push for, of course, getting people involved to volunteer, like I said. But if people are listening and have extra funds, if they want to help support or sponsor, is there a different spot for them to go, or what's
It's
the
on our
process
website
for
as
that?
well. It's
Okay.
musiciansoncall.org/donate, and there's plenty. You should be able to find it even if you go to the just main website. But yeah, we are always, you know, looking for opportunities for that, and you know, there's a lot we can do with that, so it's always appreciated.
Right.
And we would love for you to volunteer with us. That's our big, you know, push, specifically here in Denver. If you're local, that's, you know, my hope is to, you know, be able to be in numerous hospitals here in Denver. But donations are awesome too. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know you guys have a whole bunch of sponsors, and Hyundai Hope for Wheels is a big one. So I just wanted to say thank you to all those that are helping to donate and keeping programs like this going. It is so incredibly vital in today's world to have that connection. Literally, I came from another meeting an hour ago, and it was all about connection. About what we're doing in our community and lifting each other up. So it is incredibly important. However you can get involved, please think about it, especially if music is a part of your life. I don't know anyone who music isn't a part of their life, so there's always ways to get involved.
Well, I know somebody who music is becoming a part of their life and maybe inspired by this. I'm not going to blow the whistle. You just started playing guitar. You just started learning guitar, didn't you?
I did. Oh my gosh. It was like now, but it'd be like, oh my gosh.
I had to bring that up.
It's okay. I did. I literally just got a guitar last week, and one of my good friends and coworkers has been super kind to teach me. So, and I have lots of friends that are musical. One of my best friends has a few songs out, and another good friend grew up in music. So I've got lots of sources to help me, but I, grew up singing and theater and all the stuff since I was very young. So I would love to be able to do that as well, just like our volunteers, and give back to them and play. So it's been fun. It's been a good source of stress relief for me, and just playing around with different songs.
Nice.
So
I was going to ask, have you learned a song yet?
I mean, I've barely.
Like
I know
Mary Had a
a
Little
few
Lamb.
chords.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
that's
You're
like
way
where we're
ahead of
at.
me.
Like, I'm glad I didn't bring it. I'm not showing anyone.
We have a guitar on the wall.
No, I'm good. Oh no.
It starts exactly
No,
where
no.
you're
Maybe next time
supposed
I'm
to start.
here.
There you go. No, but
Yes.
congratulations.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
a week
awesome.
ago. It's awesome.
Thank
As a
you.
guitarist myself, I'll tell you, it's cheaper than therapy and much more effective.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely stick with it.
Yeah.
And, let us know when, shoot us an email. It's just like, hey, I'm about to play for my first patient.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I will be excited when I get to do that. So.
That's very cool. I always tell people to try things new that challenge and kind of scare you, because you learn a whole bunch when you go through that, and you're never too young or old to start something new. It doesn't. Age is never a factor. And I tried the guitar. Definitely a few years back now, and I commend you. Hats off, 'cause I found it really, really hard. It's not the easiest thing, but
It's not, no. It's definitely worth it, though.
yeah,
So.
it is completely.
But for all musicians out there, I don't care what genre you play. Go around with an acoustic guitar. Do some punk goes acoustic for some patients. And we have a lot in Colorado. We have an amazing talent in Colorado.
Yeah.
A lot of wonderful musicians. So how often do you come to Denver? How often do you get to Colorado?
This is my first time here since I started working with Denver at MOC. Typically would come 1 to 2 times a year. So, but there's always, opportunities to travel out here, and I'm grateful I get to do that and put, faces to emails and just make in-person connections. We luckily have awesome technology and can Zoom with lots and lots of people, but nothing beats being face-to-face, so
Yeah, that is so
I look
true.
forward to traveling for work always, so.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Especially with a great job.
I know.
Like that.
We need to
Very
make it out to
rewarding.
Nashville.
Yes.
That's
That'd
on
be great.
that's on
Come
my
visit.
list. I mean, that's the music capital of the world, so we need to go hang out there. I'm just saying. Put it on the list.
Well, anything else you want to say to an audience of music lovers here in Colorado?
I hope you volunteer with us. We'd love to have you. We're always needing people, and we appreciate any kind of support y'all can give. We want to reach everyone and want to play for as many patients and family members and caregivers as possible. Not only the patients, but also caregivers and hospital staff do so much for patients. So everyone deserves the love, and musiciansoncall.org/volunteer.
And music is the best way to share that love. I gotta say it.
Oh, it's so true.
yeah.
Well, thank you again, Abby, for coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you guys so much.
Again, you can contact Abby directly, abby@musiciansoncall.org. You can call the main number just in case with questions, 212-741-2709. They are based in Nashville, but they are all over the place. They're in 25 different cities and 50 states. Where they can be reached not only bedside and also virtual, so which is super cool.
And growing.
And growing.
And counting.
So, yes,
Yep.
exactly. If you're a musician, if you want to volunteer, if you want to help sponsor, anything is absolutely amazing. What you can give is great, and give a gift of love. I love that you said that. Everyone deserves love. I 100% agree with that. And those that do, that there are, there are four walls in the hospital, and that is their entire world. It's a bigger gift than I can put into words. It shifts their entire attitude
Absolutely.
of what they can now look forward to in life.
Well, thank you very much, Abby. We really appreciate you spending the time with us.
Thank you so much.
And thank
Appreciate
you,
guys.
Megan Claris, if you're out there.
Yes, thank
I'm
you, Megan.
so glad that
We love you, Megan.
she hooked us up. And she actually works with you.
So she's a volunteer.
She's a volunteer for you.
Yeah, and she also has been doing a lot of recruiting for us here in Denver. So if you're a musician, you've probably seen her out and about.
Oh, yeah.
But she's a rock star. So thank you, Megan, for this amazing connection.
Well, hopefully we can do our part with doing some recruiting for you as well.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for listening in to K4CO Radio. This has been an interview with Abby Tannler, the program coordinator of Musicians on Call. Check it out. Musiciansoncall.org. Just a wonderful organization. Stay tuned at 7 o'clock, about 50 minutes or so. We have one solid hour of only Colorado musicians in our rotation. However, starting midnight tonight, remember, for 48 hours, we have only Colorado musicians for 2 days straight. That's a lot of music.
I know.
That's a lot of great music.
If that's okay. I want to thank you first and foremost. This was your idea, and we're here because of you, and I adore everything about everything that we're doing. And a huge thank you to our community, to our partners, to the chamber work, to our musicians. I mean, all of this is about community and lifting each other up. So I just wanted to personally thank you. This has shifted my life in a very positive way. So huge thank you from K4CO to you all.
And all of our wonderful founders, too. Miss you, Robbie. Also, tonight, another episode of Kind of Vague Radio, hosted by Andrew Talent and Rob Dixon. 9 o'clock tonight. There's also a replay at 2 o'clock in the morning. You guys take care. Have an amazing Wednesday night, and thank you very much for tuning in.